Welcome back. It is that time of the year again when we begin to focus on the upcoming election cycle, and news cycles are already running high speed. Talking about a former president with 4 criminal indictments, including one for his alleged role in the attempts to overthrow the election results in 2020. And an incumbent president whose age is at the center of attention, while many accomplishments seem to take a back seat. There are many issues that could be talked about, but how many of them actually will be talked about? Shiny objects being tossed out there, name-calling galore. Let's talk about that. There once was a time when you could have conversations about issues, and it would be civil, right, and you'd have a conversation. You could at least agree and disagree and then walk away. But now it is just pretty nasty.
The coarseness in politics has really just gone to the extreme. Clearly, President Trump is part of that. You go back to the 2016 primaries and the name-calling and the badgering and not name-calling of the other party, of the people who were contesting him in the primary. And then it's not quite on the same level, but you look at Senator Fetterman from Pennsylvania. Suddenly, we're wearing gym shorts and sweatshirts on the floor of the U.S. Senate. I mean, what have we come to in this country to where, you know, politicians, they're making themselves less respectable. So how do you expect the public then to have great respect for the political institutions? And so that's a problem. And I go way back. I won't tell the whole story, but once upon a time, George Mahon, who was chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, I happened to have a meeting with him when I was very young, and he explained that it had changed. Used to, the people in Congress would go up there, they'd get to know each other as individuals. He says, today, these blow-dry kids fly in here on a Monday afternoon and call me names on the House floor, and I've never even met them. So it has changed, and that change started decades ago, but it seems to have just reached a fever pitch now.
I hadn't heard that before, blow-dry kids. So with all of that in mind, how optimistic are you that we can work through some of these issues that have been cyclical? We've seen it, maybe not to this level of coarseness, though. Do you think another party is going to be part of the solution going forward?
Well, I think one of the issues we're going to have to grapple with as a country is what do we do with our political parties? You know, if you go back to the founders, they said we don't need any political parties. That's a bad idea. Well, you have to now to get elected. You have to be a member of a party. But like Europe, where they have parties that are ideologically aligned, if we go to that, then we have a problem, because at the presidential level anyway, if nobody gets a majority of the electoral votes, it goes to the U.S. House to decide, which was done back in the late 1800s once upon a time. I don't think the public would stand for that. So do we need to really go back and re-examine the way we're set up to elect presidents? And then the congressional seats, somehow we've got to get to where people who run for office have to talk to somebody other than their echo chamber.
One thing before we go to our Newsmakers Extra, there's a lot of intimidation out there against politicians now as well. There are politicians who are seeking protection because they will come out on one side or another. I'm reading a book by Miles Taylor, who was formerly with the Trump administration, called Blowback, talking about the number of people who felt they wanted to speak out against some of the things that President Trump was doing, but they were so badly impacted by a lot of actual threats that makes it difficult. Are you aware of the kind of challenges some politicians are having now because of threats against themselves and their families?
Oh, I think so, and I think social media feeds that a great deal. All you have to do is look on Facebook and X, or formerly Twitter, and see what some of the comments are. And it's scary. Now, how many of those comments are real people and how many are bots? We don't even know that answer.
Right.
But so the whole social media, and the other thing I have to add before we get off here, people now get to choose their own news. You choose the news station that you watch based on what you already believe, and so it just reinforces this divide that we have.
Tremendous silo. We're going to talk about that because you had some students. You assign them a task. We'll talk about that on a Newsmakers Extra, along with a couple of other things that we'll deal with, including your thoughts about Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo, who's taken a leave of absence. We'll talk more about that on Houston Newsmakers. You can find Newsmakers Extra on the clicktohouston.com. go to the Newsmakers page on click2houston.com and you'll find it there. Judge Emmett, thank you. I'm not sure how much better I feel about where we're going to be, but at least I feel more educated about it. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.